Hello guys, and we have here today another very interesting video. We have a video, discussion video on the meta, on the New Year's meta, January format. What is it going to be like? We have two archetypes coming out then, but yet I will get on to them. I just want to do a recap on the past two formats. So once Duels Alliance came out, pretty much a new format had, like all the other cards that were being played, they disappeared. So we had got the Yang Zings, the Satellarknights, the Shaddolls, and the Burning Abyss monsters. So out of those guys, the ones that proved themselves to be the most, because at that time it could have really been anybody. People were looking at Shaddolls like they were going to be it. Be it Satellarknights, they had that alpha, they had those rank 4s, and then the Yang Zings, some of them were running skill drain, and they could just float for days, so nobody was really positive which one would end up topping, and it came down to Burning Abyss and Shaddolls. Mainly because Burning Abyss, like, they're TCG, so we didn't know how they do, and they just did well. Nobody really knew how to play against them because there was nothing like in the OCG. If this was printed in the OCG also, then it might not have. That is something to take into consideration. But seeing how this is a TCG only archetype, it just did very well. So going on to the new challengers format, which is the one we're in right now, there was only one new archetype that came out, and that are the Cliffords. So Shaddolls and Burning Abyss had to go up against Cliffords, and it was the Burning Abyss and Cliffords that ran out of that three-way duel. And so now we are hitting the new format with Infernoids and Neatcloth, and Infernoids aren't going to do anything because they just lose to Emptiness, and everybody's running that at 3. So that card is, Infernoids aren't going to make a splash. So now Neatcloth, they also lose to Emptiness really easily, but yet they run Decree, they run Deneko Seka, so there's no worries about Emptiness right now. So we have here Burning Abyss and Cliffords, and Cliffords, they have decided already that they need to run towers, they have to have towers. Yet in this new format, what really makes me unhappy is the fact that not only do Necros have access to this card over here, Djinn Releaser of Rituals, who effect I will get onto a little bit later, so do Burning Abyss. Now Burning Abyss have a ritual monster. It isn't on Dev Pro yet, and once it is on Dev Pro, I'm going to do a deck profile. Yet once it gets released on Dev Pro and all that, or once it gets released in CCG, it's going to make a huge impact. It's pretty much going to make it it's going to make the format out who gets out their boss monster first. If Necros can get out Djinn, both Cliffords and Burning Abyss will lose. If the Burning Abyss deck can Djinn you, then Cliffords and Necros will lose. And if Cliffords can get out towers, then, or this other card over here, Vanity's Ruler, who I think they should run, then the Neatcloth and the Burning Abyss player are going to have some trouble getting over that. So it really becomes this format of almost like an OTK, where it's just like, I have a board that's so strong, you cannot win, you cannot play your deck, so therefore I win. And so it's going to be very hard. We might just see people start maining Creature Swap and Mind Control, just because of Djinn's ruling, where if the monster changes control, so does the effect. So let me read the effect right now. Well, the monster ritual summon using card is placed up on the field. Your opponent cannot special summon. So if you guys don't know what that effect it means, it just means your opponent can't special summon, as long as this monster, like, you can do it with Trishula. As long as Trishula's face up, can't do anything about it. Now, all of it actually, there is one card if I can spell. That's actually really good to get over this, and that's Moon. So this is another card that people might just main to get over the Djinn, so that way they can start special summoning again. So it is going to be a very interesting format where people are just placing down it. And so we're going to see a lot of people that don't want to play Burning Abyss, or they don't want to play Necros. They're just not going to play, and they might just quit. We're probably going to see a decent amount of quitters, because like the Yang Zing players, once they get Djinned, they're over, they're done, they can't do anything. The Satellarknight players, they can't do much either, and same with the Shaddol players, they won't be able to do much. They won't be able to get to their synchros, or they won't be able to fusion summon, so it's gonna become too hard. It's just gonna become really too hard to play, so a lot of decks are gonna lose out. And the thing that makes me really sad about this is all these decks are really good, and if they came out by themselves, they could own a format to themselves. I feel if Shaddolls and Burning Abyss weren't released, it would have been Yang Zings and Satellarknights, and Yang Zings probably would have won, because even if the Tellarknights did anything, it wouldn't have done much. They'd have to pop back, like Deltaros would only be popping the trap cards that they had, and even then the Ink Things would still be able to make Boxia. Over here, yet because all these stuff came out, we had this format that we're going into, so it makes me a little bit unhappy to just know we're going into a format where it's just going to be this sack fest, this place down a monster, I win, game over. And as far as getting over killers, I feel people might just start sighting in lava golems, because you can lava golem towers. You can also, one of my favorite ways, and I think this is just a hilarious way to get over towers, is Destiny Hero Plasma. Destiny Hero Plasma, it's very funny because towers is unaffected by activated effects of level 9 and lower monsters. This guy has a continuous effect that is skill drain, so it will negate all of your opponent's monsters' effects, and then you can activate this level 8 monsters effect to equip towers, and because this effect is negated, it will go through. So that is another way. Most people will probably just side in lava golems to get rid of towers. Maybe Santa Claus, if that card ever comes out for TCG. I don't think it has. Oh, it did? Oh, it is out for the TCG, yeah, so whoever that card is, people might start citing that in against towers. But, so this upcoming format, tell me what you guys think about it. Like, it's going to be very saggy. I don't want to do too much of a ban list prediction, but I don't think Emptiness is going to get hit. Not until after Premium Gold comes out. And Clifford players definitely want Vanity Rules. Again, it's another one of those cards that says your opponent cannot special summon. So it's pretty much just the same as Djinn. So if Clifford can make him also, then they have the same advantage that Burning Abyss and Necros, I need to get used to that, Necros get when they're playing with Djinn. So this format as a whole, if you don't want to play a ritual deck, or if you don't want to play in a ritual format, don't do it. If you don't want to play a ritual format, you need to start playing casual. Don't get into it, because it's going to be a very painful format. Because if you've ever played Necros and played the mirror match, where both people are running Djinn, it really is just a race to Djinn your opponent. That is just how that's how the mirror match works. And once the person does that, unless they're maining any of these, or they side in any of these, then that player will most likely win. And even then, it's a heart of the cards type scenario. Can I get these Mind Control? Can I get this Pokemon? Because only one of these guys are at 3, and that's Creature Swap. So at max, you're gonna have probably 4 cards, because I don't think anybody's gonna run triple. And so this format, it's going to be very painful. People aren't going to like it, because it's just going to be just awful. People don't like those formats where it's one side. People don't like going into a duels and not being able to play their decks just because this one deck. They don't like people like to have player interaction. Even if you're winning with Necros, yet you're just playing your deck by yourself and your opponent's deck doesn't matter and it just does its stuff. Whether it's Burning Abyss, Clifford, or Necros, people like to have player interaction to actually play a game. That's the whole point of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this format, it's not going to be so much of a game, because people are just going to play their decks, and if they Djinn, they win. Unless you're running a deck that doesn't have to special summon, then that's going to be the thing. And I feel like because of this, it actually opens up to a lot of other ritual monsters. The reasons why the ritual monsters like Relinquished or Herald or Saphira, they weren't doing so well, is because even if they did Djinn, it wouldn't have done much, because Bujins were a thing at the time. So if you Djinned, it wouldn't have hurt them. They'd just summon and attack over with Crane, or they'd negate with Total if you're running Relinquished. And right now there isn't this big powerful deck that doesn't need a special summon. If a deck does get made that doesn't need a special summon, then it's gonna give some more fluidity to the duels, and it's gonna create a 4th player in this deck that can actually play. Because even if they Djinn, then it doesn't matter, they're just going to continue playing their deck. But yet a lot of decks, such as these decks over here, they need to have at least one special summon to do something. And so if these guys shut them out, then this deck can't play. So we're going to see people maybe skip this format, like how when Hands and Artifacts released, some people stopped playing then. We're going to see a lot of people stop playing this format just because, well, ritual format is a very painful. I'm gonna play it because I love ritual monsters. I love them, and so I'm going to go in and I'm gonna play Necross. I'm hoping my friend who said he's gonna pick up some Burning Abyss, he said he's gonna go for Scar. He's gonna go for the Burning Abyss. So it's gonna be interesting. I hope my friend gets it. I hope I can get Necross. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting format. It's going to be painful. It's going to not have a lot of player interaction. It's going to be a lot of, again, I'm just repeating myself, a lot of I make my move, you make your move. Ta-da. That's the thing. And then that's all it. But besides that, if you're willing to play a ritual format just because, I'm playing it just because of ritual monsters and I love them. Yet if you don't want to play it, then you guys need to go and just maybe stop playing Yu-Gi-Oh for this format or play casually. I mean, if you wanted to play Shaddolls, but you couldn't and you were playing Zings because they were cheaper, go ahead and pick up the deck. The deck is really cheap. I feel like the most expensive card right now is Sinister Shadow Games, and that's $20. It's probably going to drop to $15 at any moment, specifically once Necross come out. It's going to drop to $15, and the Tellarknights aren't that big of a deck anymore either. That's a very cheap deck, so if you want to play those decks as a casual player, go ahead and pick them up right now and wait until this format just to float over and laugh at all the people that spend all their money on Necross or Burning Abyss or Cliffforts, because Cliffforts are still going to be a deck because there's 18 towers. So don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged, you Clifford players. If you can get out of towers fast enough, or Vanity's Ruler, then you're in good position. You're in a very good position where these guys can't really do much. And also, by the way, Clifford's, I forgot to mention this card. Wow, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. One of the best ways to get over the djinn is literally this card, Monarch Stormforth or Soul Exchange. It just destroys djinn because it's just like, I'm gonna get rid of your monster and tribute summon, and even then. And so that's another reason why I forgot to mention this. We're gonna see more Clifford players, because this is actually the deck that normal summons, that doesn't need a special summon. So we're probably gonna see some more Monarchs players come into the game. Actually, I can't believe I completely spaced these guys. So in the next format, we're gonna see Burning Abyss. We're gonna see Cliffords, which is also another normal summon deck because they do have those level 6 monsters, Helix and Kyria. So they could just run the one Monarch Stormforth and get away with it. So we're probably going to see duel between these 3 decks for the main part, but we'll probably see Monarchs tier 2. They will still have trouble going up against these guys, so it might not. So they probably might not do so well. They'd be stuck in those duels where you see all the tables at regionals where you see all the tier 2 decks playing around, and it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, this is just my opinions on the next upcoming format. Tell me what you guys think. What decks do you think are going to be big? How are they going to work? How are they going to interact? I just think that because all these decks have monsters, that just makes it impossible to get over them with the djinns or the towers, that they're going to be a big deck. So tell me what your plans are, what your plans are fighting, what type of format you think it's going to be. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Bye. Hey, if you could click on the links on the annotation to see the duel with this deck or some of my other videos, that would really help. And check out the links in the description to watch some of me and my friends' videos, and even something that could help make this deck a reality for you. See you guys later. Bye.